Coming up on LUTV News, the impeachment hearings kick off week number 2 in Washington on Tuesday. We'll tell you what the president thinks about it so far and who's scheduled to testify.
Plus, police have found a man shot to death in South St. Louis's Dutchtown neighborhood.
And a police chase across state lines ended up with the arrest of a wrong person.
Those stories and more ahead on LUTV News. Welcome to this edition of LUTV News. I'm Danielle Lee.
And I'm Shaylin Davis. Thanks for joining us.
Tuesday marks the beginning of the second week of the U.S. House hearings on President Donald Trump. Monday and Wednesday of last week featured several diplomats who have been critical of the president's Ukraine policy. Democrats say the president's asking for an investigation into alleged corruption is a form of bribery. For his part, President Trump is calling the entire process unfair.
The Republicans are given no due process whatsoever. We're not allowed to do anything. It's a disgrace what's happening. But you know what? The American public understands it, and that's why the poll numbers are so good, and that's why other things are so good.
5 more sessions are scheduled for the next 3 days. Ukraine expert Colonel Alexander Vindman and Vice Presidential aide Jennifer Williams are scheduled for Tuesday morning. The week's biggest testimony is expected Wednesday morning when EU Ambassador Gordon Solon is to be questioned.
A man was found shot to death in a crash car in Dutchtown Monday morning. Police were called at 1 a.m. to the 4600 block of Alaska Avenue. When officers got there, they found a man dead and a bullet hole in the side of his car he was in. Police have not identified the man, and they are investigating the incident as a homicide.
Police on Monday found a man suspected of kidnapping a woman at gunpoint in the Dutchtown neighborhood over the weekend. Police say they found the 22-year-old man and 27-year-old woman inside a stolen blue Suburban BRZ after it got into an accident Monday morning near Natural Bridge in Goodfellow. Police said they are believed to be the suspect and the victim in an incident that happened on Sunday, and they know each other. Authorities say on Sunday the man drove up to the woman and fired gunshots at her feet and forced her into the car. The man and the woman are being treated at the hospital.
A man who was falsely arrested after a bi-state police chase Friday says it left him with a bad opinion about law enforcement. Police were chasing a gray SUV that had been reported stolen in Belleville. The SUV crashed into a dumpster in an alley near Lee and Newsland. A local news helicopter video showed the driver running away. That same video apparently showed Terrell Beasley getting into his white van nearby, ready to leave for work. Beasley says police arrested him and did not even ask to verify if he lived there. He spent 2 hours in jail before being released. The police are apologizing for the mistake.
We are following a developing story. At least 2 people have been shot and killed in Oklahoma. Police say a man with a handgun opened fire at another man and a woman in the parking lot of a Walmart in Duncan, Oklahoma. Police say the man then shot himself after being confronted by a bystander who was also armed. The investigation is continuing.
Thousands of mourners showed up over the weekend to pay their respects to 2 students killed in last week's Saugus school shooting. A 15-year-old and 14-year-old died Thursday morning when another student shot them and then himself. Police say Nathaniel Burho pulled a pistol and started shooting on his 16th birthday. 2 other students were wounded in the shooting in Santa Clara, a Los Angeles suburb. Police have not yet found any evidence that would explain Burho's reasoning for the attack. Saugus High School will remain closed until December 2nd.
Authorities filed a second-degree murder charge on Friday against the husband of a missing St. Louis County woman. Jennifer Rothwell was last seen at home on Tuesday of last week. DNA samples from Jennifer's parents confirmed that it was her blood found inside the Rothwell home. Detectives say they have a video of Jennifer's husband, Bo, buying bleach and carpet cleaner on Monday. They also found the carpet wet with bleach and large areas of blood soaked all the way down to the carpet padding. Police then arrested him at 7:45 p.m. on Wednesday. He is being held without bond and has not entered a plea yet.
For all the food lovers, the 25th annual Taste of St. Charles is taking place November 20th. 30 of the top restaurants in St. Charles will be there. People will be able to snag food from Firebirds, Firehouse Subs, Toscano's, and Mission Taco. The event will be hosted by the Rotary Club of St. Charles to benefit adult charities. You can get tickets online for $40 or by check the day of the event for $45.
Straight ahead on LUTV News, businesses on Main Street are still struggling with possible new liquor laws.
Mom, I got it. What are you doing in there?
I got stuck.
Are you a dog?
I wouldn't do that. Have you seen the pliers? Where'd you find those?
It's not your birthday.
Sorry.
Bye, Grandpa.
Bye, Grandpa.
Take care of yourself.
What are you doing? What are you looking for?
Main Street is a place in historic St. Charles known for fun and entertainment. Back in 2018, many bars were forced to stop selling liquor after 11 p.m. Officials say those laws quickly changed after many complaints. Now, flash forward to 2019 and St. Charles is taking another shot at changing laws again. I had the chance to catch up with a few spots on Main Street to get their opinion on the new changes. Food, but mostly drinks.
Main Street General Store, we try to have a little bit of everything. We've thought of items that people who are down here maybe spending the day might need so they don't have to get in their car and run elsewhere, or the people who work and live down here on a daily basis.
Millennials often come for a good time because the street is covered with bars.
Well, the queue is very diverse. I think a lot of people don't know that. They either know that we serve food or that we're a nightclub, but we are both. We do open for lunch and then dinner, and along with like a lot of catering. The queue is a small business, and I hope people do support small businesses along with all the other places on Main Street as well.
Back in 2018, many bars were forced to stop selling liquor after 11 p.m.
So we're not as familiar with what it was like down here at the time, but from our understanding, you know, the changes that were made and enforcement of a lot of the ordinances that were on there, you know, have really, you know, changed everything, the atmosphere down here. You know, I think things are, you know, in a much better situation from what we have understood. And so it seems like things are working.
Officials say liquor laws on Main Street may change again. Those changes will let some bars operate as bar only.
I hope this time around, if they do decide to change the laws again, that it would benefit the small businesses that are here in St. Charles, in addition to all the surrounding on this side of the end. In addition to the liquor laws, again, I just feel like it is kind of attacked on this side of the street. I know that it had some bad stories, some like bad reps about it, but I feel personally that's where any bar scene you're going to go to, you're going to get that. And then I don't know what other laws are coming this way, so I hope that they're not negative towards us.
Danielle Lee with LUTV.
Have you ever wondered where Lewis and Clark's famous journey began? It's actually right here in St. Charles. LUTV's Jake Adams has the story.
I'm standing here in front of the Lewis and Clark Boathouse and Museum. One of the things that people don't realize is that this area was actually the place where they met before they went west on their journey. In the St. Charles area, there's a place that many people are familiar with, the historic Main Street. But people don't realize that there's a historic museum nearby.
This was the last town that they were in before they actually took off on the expedition. Got the last of the supplies here. Once they left here, they were the Lewis and Clark troop was on their own.
The historic St. Charles district got its name because it was the first permanent European settlement along the Missouri River and the final place that Lewis and Clark stayed before they embarked on their journey west. The museum itself is a testament to that. It displays a ton of information that allows people from all over the world to learn about the importance of the St. Charles area.
The main difference about the museum here in St. Charles is that it's the only museum along the trail that is a private museum, and it was put together by teachers.
The Lewis and Clark Boathouse and Museum is actually one of the only museums along the Lewis and Clark Trail that is privately owned and operated. Each year, people from all 50 states and even countries from around the world come and visit to learn about the Lewis and Clark Trail. If you'd like more information about the museum, go visit them at 1050 South Riverside Drive, St. Charles, Missouri. For LUTV News, I'm Jake Adams.
LUTV News reporter Chelsea Behrens gets an inside perspective of a local St. Charles musician who will soon be leaving Missouri to pursue his music career. Take a look.
Local St. Charles musician Dylan Gray writes his own music and dreams of sharing his voice with the world. He is a flooring worker by day and a full-time singer-songwriter by night.
For the past 3 months, I've been trying to make a song every single day to step up my game because I'll be moving to LA soon. I started 2 years ago or so, and I was going to make my first song in the studio. So my producer's name is Joey Angels, and he's super cool. I do like to do a lot of stuff with my guitar and piano as well, because then I just be like, yeah, I played that. That's cool. Well, I lost myself in 1,000 ways. I don't know if I'll be back again.
It only takes one song. And the volume that he's pumping out, somebody's going to hear something they like. If nothing else, I'll buy it from him. Yeah, it's all his. I wouldn't know how to classify it. It's just Dylan.
If you're interested to hear more of Dylan's music, check him out on Spotify and SoundCloud at Dylan Gray. And that's it for this edition. I'm reporter Chelsea Behrens for LUTV News.
Union Station is opening up 4 new attractions this week. The Sky Trail indoor ropes opens on Monday. Up to 45 people can be strapped in and climb the ropes. It is 3 stories tall and has zip lining 50 feet above the ground. The Train Shed restaurant had their soft opening already, but Monday makes it official. They offer upscale bar food. The Amazing Discoveries Mirror Maze is expected to open this week. It's inspired by the 1904 World's Fair, and it features the Mirror Maze, a hall of doors, a laughter room, and a distortion room. The St. Louis Aquarium's gift shop is opening Monday as well. The highly anticipated aquarium is scheduled to open in December.
If you would like to give a helping hand during the holiday season, Brass Grill Steakhouse is looking for a volunteer like you. Brass will donate 10,000 meals this Thanksgiving to families in need for the 6th year in a row. The restaurant is looking for people to help prepare and deliver meals. For more information, contact Brass Grill Steakhouse.
Sports cars and motorcycles gathered on Sunday to honor 14-year-old Alec Ingram, who lost his battle with cancer on November 7th. More than 2,100 sports cars and 70 motorcycles met at Six Flags St. Louis parking lot before traveling to Washington for the funeral service to fulfill his final wish. Drivers from all over the country, including Florida, California, New York, Michigan, and Indiana, came in to drive for Alex. So many cars and people showed up that most of the city was shut down for several hours to fit everyone.
Everything seems to be nice and steady this week with temperatures in the 50s. However, things might change as we get closer to the weekend. Will there be any rain? Find out after the break.
They call me Prince like I'm royalty or something. But the places I've lived ain't no palaces. So I don't need grilled salmon or a new scratching post. Just give me a cardboard box and a can of tuna and we're good. You can even change my name. I'm cool being the kitty formerly known as Prince.
First time I tried Vicodin, it was laying around my mom's house. And then I kept taking them whenever I could get them. I didn't know they'd be this addictive. I didn't know how far I'd go to get more.
Opioid dependence can happen after just 5 days. Know the truth, spread the truth.
Welcome back. Thankfully, the weather around the Midwest has decided not to be too crazy for once. If you look at the St. Louis region here, there is a light and subtle rain system traveling southeast over St. Louis over the next few hours. Now, while the conditions may be perfect for rain, there shouldn't be any drizzling until Thursday. Fingers crossed. But you never know though, so be sure to keep your raincoat in your car. You'll also see that there's a rain system covering the southeast coast with a more aggressive system floating over the northeast in the Boston area. Now keep your jacket handy because it's going to be cloudy in the 50s around the St. Louis area. In downtown it is 54 and cloudy. In St. Charles it is 53 and partly cloudy. Now some sun is better than no sun, right? But in Maryland Heights it is 53 and cloudy. And now, as we head out west, you can see that the same conditions are in both St. Peter's and O'Fallon at 52 and cloudy. Now, let's take a look at the 5-day forecast. Okay, St. Charles, you might be happy to hear that it'll warm up as the week progresses. But you may not be as excited about the rain that comes with it. Monday's forecast is a high of 53 with a low of 42 and partly cloudy. And then it'll warm up a bit on Tuesday to a high of 58 and a low of 36, also partly cloudy. And then once we get to Wednesday, the clouds are going to fill the sky, but it'll again be warming up to 62 and going down to 53 at night. Then, on Thursday, grab your umbrella because there will be some rain. However, it'll be a high of 67 and a low of 37. Not too bad. And then as the week comes to an end on Friday, it'll chill down to a high of 54 and a low of 32 with some rain showers. And that's it in weather news. Let's see what Ethan has to report on sports.
The Lindenwood football team keeps winning, but a win last weekend is not the only thing to get excited about. Plus, basketball and rugby right after this.
There are 16 million children struggling with hunger in America. That's 1 in 5 daughters, sons, neighbors, and classmates who don't know where their next meal is coming from. Yet billions of pounds of good food go to waste every year. It's time we do something about it. Feeding America is a nationwide network of food banks that helps provide meals to millions of kids and families in need. Visit feedingamerica.org to help them feed even more. Together, we can solve hunger. Together, we're feeding America.
I don't remember how it started.
Go to that.
Our back and forth. It always came back.
Dad!
You probably don't remember what you told me,
That was perfect.
but I heard every word.
The Lindenwood Lions are conference champions. The football team won the GLVC outright after defeating Southwest Baptist 42-10 Saturday, finishing the season undefeated in conference play, led by another strong performance from Cade Brister. But the good news did not stop there, because on Sunday night they were picked to make their first ever appearance in the NCAA tournament. They will travel to Arkadelphia, Arkansas to take on undefeated and 5th-ranked Ouachita University. It has been an incredible stretch this season, as Lindenwood is currently on a 7-game win streak. They will look to add to that streak on Saturday in Arkansas. The Lindenwood women's basketball team has started the 2019 campaign off strong after 2 wins away from home this weekend. The Lions defeated the Walsh Cavaliers 75-73 in a highly contested ballgame Saturday night. Lindenwood had to overcome 17 turnovers, but Devin Furing and her game-high 24 points helped Lindenwood close out Walsh. On Sunday, the Lions took on Ursuline College and got the 74-64 win. Callie Billner led all scorers with 19 points on 7 of 10 shooting. The Lindenwood Lions took a 3-0 record back home to take on Quincy next Tuesday night. The Lindenwood men's water polo team won their 5th national title in 6 years over the weekend in Pittsburgh. The Lions had to win 4 games in 3 days to repeat as national champs, defeating Pittsburgh, Michigan State, the University of California, San Diego, just to get into the championship game. In the national championship, they defeated the University of Southern California Trojans 9-5, led by goalie Marcel Faris, who made 16 saves, stifling the Trojan offense. This moves Lindenwood into a tie with Cal Poly for the most national championships of all time at 5 apiece. The Cardinals got some unsurprising news on Thursday when Marcel Ozuna declined his qualifying offer. This makes him a free agent now. The Redbirds are looking to bolster their outfield for the 2020 season, but with the free agent market at the moment very slim at the outfield position, St. Louis has to make a decision. They have to either go with what they have in the farm system, try and make a push to re-sign Ozuna, or make a trade. My guess would be they re-sign Ozuna to a multi-year deal, as both parties have expressed interest in making it happen. But with Ozuna's injury history, you never know what Gersh and company will do. The Blues have had a rough stretch this past week. After winning 8 games in a row, they have now dropped their last 3, losing to Anaheim at home on Saturday night 4-1. The good news is the Blues still sit tied with Edmonton on top of the Western Conference standings, looking to get things back on track when they return to action Tuesday at the Enterprise Center against the Tampa Bay Lightning. This is all I have for sports. Now over to Danielle and Shaylin on why today is so special.
Today is Mickey and Minnie Mouse's birthday. On November 18th, Mickey and Minnie turned 91. They still look great as they did all those years ago.
Mickey and Minnie made their debut in the animated movie Steamboat Willie in 1928. Their original names were Moldemir and Minerva. Happy birthday, Mickey and Minnie. That's it for this edition of LUTV News. I'm Danielle Lee.
And I'm Shaylin Davis. Thanks for joining us.